This is big breaking news. It's official. This has now gone into place, and we are going to see major price increases in things like electricity and maybe even electricity shortages and gaps in certain states and certain regions. So let's get into all the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos every day, keeping you guys updated on everything going on in the country, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So this is what's happening right now. Canada officially announced major tariffs on electricity imports into the United States, right? They're saying that they are going to slap a 25% fee, and this is now in effect. It's official. This has gone into effect Monday, and the Premier, Doug Ford, has issued a statement, and he is saying that they are still considering to, quote, shut it all off. Right? We are also going to cover all the different tariffs that Canada has had on the U.S. for decades. All right, lumber, milk, cheese, syrup, tons of things that you could think of have had extreme tariffs on them for decades from U.S. products entering Canada. And now we're seeing Canada ramp up and put even more tariffs on the U.S. in response to the U.S. finally putting tariffs on Canada. Listen to this really quick. Listen to Doug Ford, and then we will get into all the different things that are being tariffed and taxed already. This is before 2025 even happened. Things like yogurt, ice cream, cream, dairy products, maple, poultry, chicken, eggs, wheat, barley, peanut butter, vegetables, lumber, shoes, metals, wool, tobacco, all these things. Canada has had tariffs on the U.S. for a while. So listen to this really quick. This is Doug Ford saying he's going to shut it down. All right, that's what he's threatening here. And I don't think it's going to go great for Canada either. All right, the U.S. is able to absorb this a lot more, but Canada's economy and their population is a lot smaller, so any type of economic hit makes a lot more rippling effect through the economy. All right, listen to this really quick. And the U.S. has 50 different states. It's decentralized. And the main states that are going to be affected here are New York, Minnesota, and Michigan are the top three that are going to be affected by these price increases. Listen to Doug Ford really quick, and then we will get into all the different goods that are already being tariffed. This is before 2025, before Trump even got in. But listen to this.
A deal that gives businesses the confidence to invest. A deal that gives workers the security they need and deserve. Until then, Ontario will keep up the fight. We will apply maximum pressure to maximize our leverage. That's why today we're moving forward with a 25% surcharge on electricity exports. For the 1.5 million American homes and businesses that Ontario powers, homes and businesses in Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. This surcharge will cost families and businesses in these states up to $400,000 each and every single day. On an average, this will add around $100 per month to the bills of hardworking Americans. Let me be clear. I will not hesitate to increase this charge. If necessary, if the United States escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. Believe me when I say I do not want to do this. I feel terrible for the American people because it's not the American people who started this trade war. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. I'd rather be working together. I want to sell the U.S. more energy, more electricity, more critical minerals. I want to make Canada and the United States the richest, most successful, safest, most secure two countries on the planet.
All right, so you heard that there. He's saying, well, we might shut it off too. And the U.S. is actually the largest natural gas and oil producer in the entire world, more than Saudi Arabia, more than any Middle Eastern country. The U.S. is number one. And That is with all of these restrictions that are on right now. There's tons of federal land restrictions for drilling and things like that that have been put on the past 4 years, and we're still number one. And Trump has already been looking into taking these restrictions off and renewing these federal leases so people can drill more and produce even more. Right? So we really don't even need this from Canada. We're like honestly doing them a favor by buying this electricity from them, and we could produce it on our own. That's my point here. And these states are going to be affected. They're going to have price increases for now, but all this is going to do is hasten the United States to be more energy independent and not depend on these foreign countries. Because think about it, any foreign country on earth could do this. Say, hey, we want to mess with the US. We're going to stop importing this oil or this natural gas or whatever it is, or electricity. This is just going to push us to be more energy independent, right? That's all it's really going to do. And I'm really not a fan of this guy, Doug Ford, honestly, this like random premier of Ontario. He's really let this get to his head, to say the least. He really thinks he has like the cards here, as Trump was saying last week. But I really don't think he has the cards that he thinks he has. Okay, and all of this Canadian like bravado of like, yeah, we're getting the Americans back. These are all tariffs that have been on for decades. Listen to this, okay? And I love Canadians. Some of my favorite musicians and some of my favorite artists and stuff like that are Canadian, okay? YouTubers, stuff like that, Canadian, okay? I love Canada, and a lot of my listeners are Canadian. But there's like this disconnect here, okay? These are all the tariffs that have been on for decades. Before Trump was even president, even in 2016, these tariffs were on. Milk, 250% tariff on any United States milk that enters Canada. Cheese, 245% tariff. Butter, 298% tariff. And what this does is it makes it U.S. products are completely uncompetitive in the Canadian markets. So if milk has a 250% markup, okay, it's 3 times as expensive as the other milk. Nobody's going to buy it. It's the same milk. It was grown right across the border, same grass pretty much, but it costs 3 times as much because the tariffs are jacking up. So like pretty much farmers in this region, they don't even sell their milk or dairy products to Canada at all, but they flood the US with these dairy products consistently, okay? Butter, 298% tariff. Yogurt, 237% tariff. Ice cream, 277% tariff. Cream, 240%. All these are in like the 250% range. It depends like exactly what type of cream, what type of milk, whole milk, skim milk, all these different things. Right around 250%. Other dairy products range from 200 to 300%. Whey, buttermilk, dairy spreads. Maple syrup. This is before Trump was even president. Even in 2016, these have been on. Okay. Canada has a 8% tariff on any maple syrup, and it can go up to 18% on any maple syrup that enters Canada. This is nationwide or worldwide too, any maple syrup, even from the US. Chicken, poultry, 238% tariff. Turkey, around 150 to 200% tariff. Eggs, 150% tariff. Right? They make US products in Canada completely uncompetitive. So they can dump all their goods into the US and expect us to buy them, right? And Canada does have some goods and some things that we need and want, and it works out. But at the same time, we should be able to dump some of our goods onto their markets that they buy, but we're essentially locked out. Imagine if Trump put 100 and 200% tariffs on certain items. People would lose it, right? He put on 25%, and people act like this is the end of the world. And They have 200% tariffs on certain things. Wheat products, 94% tariff. Barley, 160%. Sugar, 260%. Peanut butter, 300% tariff. Rice, up to 150%. Vegetables, around 100% tariff. Fish products, 100%. All right. Additionally, lumber products, 20%. Shoe and footwear, up to 30%. Cocoa products, around 30%. Metal products, steel, aluminum, 25% tariff. Wool, 30%. Tobacco, 100% or even higher. All right. So this has been going on for decades. The Canadian government has been putting tariffs and taxation on U.S. goods for a long time. All right. And now we see them threatening to shut things down, right? So it just feels very one-sided, right? That's what's going on here is a lot of these countries that we are allies with, but they have been taken advantage. Okay, it's like they're friends with some really rich person and they're just kind of like stealing stuff from their house every time they go over to their house. And it's like, we're starting to notice, okay? We notice that you're doing this. And when you say something about it and call it out, then everyone gets mad. Everyone freaks out. It's like, we're still trying to be friends here, but you're stealing things from our nice house here, okay? You're coming over to our nice house and kind of taking advantage of the situation. And you think people aren't noticing, right? So that's kind of what's going on here. And people have been, another thing that's going on too is the markets are down right now. People are freaking out, right? There's multiple things going on, okay? So tariffs are going on. We also have just a course correction of money mismanagement in the US. Think of all the hundreds of billions of dollars that are fraudulent, that are just floating around. Think of all the benefits that are being given to people that are not U.S. citizens, that are coming here, crossing the border illegally, and then they get benefits. Think of all the billions of dollars per month that's pumping into the economy. People buying food, people filling up their entire grocery carts, okay? And there, all these things, housing vouchers, all the hotels, okay? Remember they just pulled back, what was it, like 60 million or something like that from New York City that the federal government was sending through FEMA and DHS to New York City for these hotels to house, quote, migrants. All right. That was just a few weeks ago. You remember that? All these things. Think of all this money. It's just being flooded into the economy wastefully too, excessively too. It's like they're overcharging everything. So there's been a giant pump the past few years. There's just been money flowing. Think of all the money that's been printed, okay, from these crises. They literally shut down the economy, shut down all the businesses, printed a bunch of money, gave everyone money, prices inflated, imported tens of millions of people, gave them a bunch of free money to buy things and compete with everyone else too, put even more pressure on resources and the money supply, okay? There's been a lot of, it's just been like constant pump, okay? That's my point. And it's been fake. It's been a bubble. It's been a fake bubble. And now we're having sensibility and we're saying, look, this was fake. This needed to stop. All this fake government spending, because every dollar the government creates and spends out of thin air creates inflation, okay? This is how inflation is created, is they increase the money supply without anything backing it up. Okay, you're just increasing the money supply just because they say it. The government, all right, putting more dollars out there when there's not enough value for the dollar. So it's just more dollars chasing less things. Okay, we've had all these supply chain issues, all these other problems too the past 4 years going on. with the shutdowns and also with this war, all right, and sanctions. All these different things have been going on for 4 or 5 years now, really crippling the global supply chain as well too. So it's just more dollars chasing less things. And when you put a stop to that, things are going to slow down. It's going to have to turn the other way. And we honestly might need some type of recession. What do we do? Just keep like going towards infinity? Okay, there's all this like talks like things are going to slow down. There's going to be a recession. Prices might go down. Asset prices might go down. Things might deflate. Okay, that's honestly what we need. We've had a consistent inflation. We might need a little bit of deflation. We might need things to slow down a little bit because the rate at which prices have been increasing has been unsustainable. Rent prices, interest rates, food prices, gas prices, all these things have just like, it's unsustainable, the rate at which it's increasing. So we might need things to slow down a little bit. And the rate at which it's been increasing, it's been artificially pumped up from this bubble of government spending. So obviously, if you cut the faucet off of this money flooding, it's going to slow things down, right? But that honestly might be good. It might not be good right now for your like 401k or your stock market, things like that, but portfolio. But in the long run, this is what we need. We need things to slow down. We need things to get back to equilibrium. So things are more sustainable and more stable long term, right? So let me know what you guys think down below. Lots of big stuff going on, all right? And if you are in these states, if you're in this area, just make sure you have your tanks filled up, gas tanks filled up, car tank filled up, stuff like that. It's still kind of cold right now. Could get a cold snap, and people are cranking the electricity, and there could be some type of electricity shortfall right now. Even FERC, the NERC, North American Electric Reliability Council, was warning of this last week, that there could be electricity shortfalls in these specific states, New York, Michigan, and Minnesota. So just make sure you have your things in order. If you have a wood stove, make sure you have some wood ready to go that's dry in case you need to get a fire going, in case the power, there's some type of brownout or blackout due to insufficient reserves. All right, so thank you guys. Hope you have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.